Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
Human beings are not designed to handle that much pressure. And when I was talking about my experience, his face was like, I know.
So we're finding out more information about the last moments of Stephen Twitch's boss's life. Page 6 is confirming that an autopsy has been conducted and the cause of death is, in fact, that he did take his life.
Say what now? Not DJ Twitch's wife, Allison Holker, exposing Ellen for allegedly knowing the truth about Twitch's death. Word on the street is that Twitch found incriminating evidence about Ellen's connection to Diddy's crimes, and she decided to get rid of him before we went around telling the wrong people. Apparently, there's stories going around that Ellen tried to recruit Twitch as a boy toy for Diddy's freak-offs. Or Twitch really did see something weird behind the scenes, and then he was later found dead under questionable circumstances. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, Ellen and Diddy used to be industry besties before he got caught, and word on the street is that she even got invited to the parties. But here's the thing, though. Apparently, she wasn't just a regular attendee. Oh no. She was allegedly also recruiting people to attend, and one of those people was Twitch. Not only that, she literally invited Diddy on her show 17 times, making him the most invited guest on the show. Do y'all realize just how much she must love this man to invite him 17 times? That is the love of her life at this point, and she wasn't even trying to hide it.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, Mark, you're welcome. That was...
But this was just the tip of the iceberg, y'all. You see, after Diddy got arrested, several clips of him seemingly talking about his freak-offs went viral. And one of those clips was an interview with Ellen DeGeneres. There was an episode in which Diddy blatantly talked about the freak-offs because he knew no one would get the hint of what he was talking about. Diddy even went as far as talking about how parties are usually held in the second and third floors of some hotels. And guess Ellen's response to this? She said she already knew. However, she caught herself slipping and backtracked by saying she knows about the parties because he raps about them in his songs. Girl, bye. If this was really just about his raps, we would have all known about it years ago.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up to
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party.
People didn't let this slide, and that's when they started to look into Ellen. Around the same time, a video went viral of her getting visibly nervous after she was asked her thoughts on the SA allegations against Diddy. She was better off answering those questions because her demeanor only made the allegations worse.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times.
As if this wasn't bad enough, people also brought up the death of her ex-girlfriend, Anne Heche, who mysteriously died right after attempting to expose her. Now, mind you, she died on August 11th, 2022, which is almost 4 months before Twitch was found dead. Before Anne's tragic death, she was working overtime to expose Ellen for being a fraud. And one of the things she revealed was about their relationship. For the longest time, Ellen had been telling people that she left Anne because Anne was only in it to get her money. But according to Anne, she was the one who actually left Ellen because she found out that Ellen was doing some despicable things in the industry just to get ahead in her career. She said it got to a point when all Ellen was focused on was making more money, no matter the conditions that it came with. I broke up with her because her goal was to have a lot of money. Mine was to find love, and hers was, I want $60 billion. Good luck. Our forks are never going to meet. The further we stay on with this, the further we will be apart. But she wasn't done. She also accused Ellen of trying to put her in a mental facility and working overtime to get her blackballed when she left her.
Truth that I spoke, I was hit more, buried more, or despised more, and then had calculated visions and circulations of systems that spun me up and out of the system that would in any way challenge the fact that she was not telling her own truth, but another's. Why do you think she tried to put me in an institution, folks? I called my mother. Guess what? 2 people who wanted more than anything to have my truth buried. It was not my timing. I did not and could not ask God for what that would be. All I could do was stay on my truth, do what I was doing, and study this thing called love that we tried to bury. And now I am up and out of the ground. And unfortunately, those 2 women could not shut me down.
And guess what? Just a few months after putting Ellen on blast and exposing her, Anne was involved in a fatal car accident, which left her with several second-degree burns all over her body. She was trapped inside her burning car for 30 minutes before first responders finally got to the scene. She eventually died, and according to her autopsy report, she died from inhalation of smoke, the burns she sustained, and a broken sternum. The hospital admission blood showed the presence of benzoyl ecgonine, the inactive metabolite of cocaine, which means she used cocaine in the past, but not at the time of the crash. Now this is where things get even weirder. Just 4 months after Anne died, Twitch also mysteriously died. According to reports, Twitch checked into the Oak Tree Motel, which was just a 15-minute walk away from his house, but he never returned home. Now, when Allison noticed he hadn't made it back home, she called him multiple times, but he didn't answer. That's when she called the police to file a missing persons report. Once word got out about his disappearance, the supervisor of the motel where he had checked called the feds to report that they had found Twitch's dead body in the bathroom of one of their rooms. And upon seeing the body immediately concluded that he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
So we're finding out more information about the last moments of Stephen Twitch Boss's life. Page 6 is confirming that an autopsy has been conducted and the cause of death is in fact that he did take his life with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So according to TMZ and their exclusive in speaking to people that work at the hotel where he took his life, they're saying that he checked in on Monday and was supposed to check out Tuesday. The maid ended up finding him in the bathroom of his hotel room. Witnesses confirmed that they did not hear any sort of. By now, you've probably seen a lot of heartfelt messages. As you know, Twitch had a long history and was an executive producer of the Ellen DeGeneres show. She released this statement earlier today. His wife, Allison, also released this statement, ending it by saying, "Stephen, we love you, we miss you, and I will always save the last dance for you."
A lot of people were not convinced that Twitch had unalived himself, and the first person they side-eyed as a potential suspect was Ellen. To make matters even worse, some inconsistencies in his death made the whole thing really suspicious. For example, when he was found dead, it was reported that he didn't leave behind any note, but TMZ later snooped around and found out that he had actually left a note. So if the feds lied about this, then what else are they lying about? Not only that, Twitch's best friend, Todrick Hall, seemingly hinted at Ellen having a hand in Twitch's death when he said Twitch had some behind-the-scenes issues with Ellen that were really stressing him out just days before he died.
Human beings are not designed to handle that much pressure. And when I was talking about my experience, his face was like, I know.
Todrick Hall is being slammed again for speculating during a recent interview as to why Stephen Twitch Boss may have taken his life. So in a new interview with Page 6, Todrick speculated about why he thinks Stephen Twitch Boss may have taken his life, and he believed it was because of the backlash that he was receiving constantly for supporting Ellen DeGeneres after the toxic work environment allegations came out in 2020. He said this to Page 6, people were looking at him like, why are you still supporting this woman? And Todrick added, I don't know what was going on in his life that may have led him to make that decision, but I do understand. Right now, when I get online some days, like right now, I was in the wrong position of where this would keep happening for years and years and years. There's only so much a human being can take. According to TMZ, they're saying sources close to Twitch's friends feel as if Todrick's interview was negligent and self-serving. What do you guys think?
But don't let all this fool you, because even though Allison is exposing all this right now, people still feel like she knew about Ellen's alleged involvement in Twitch's death for longer than she's making it out to be. However, she kept quiet to keep her kids safe. In fact, right after Twitch died, Allison sold their house and moved to a new place. She also filed a spousal property petition, asking a court to award her half of his estate. The petition read, "At the date of marriage decedent, Twitch owned only personal effects of little value. His net worth on the date of marriage was nil. There are no written agreements between Twitch and Allison providing for a non-pro rata division of the aggregate value of the community property." Just a few months later, she came back again and asked the court to award her with half of Twitch's assets, as well as his future royalties from all his investments and royalties from Step Up and So You Think You Can Dance. She also went on to sell the house she and Twitch lived in for $3.8 million and bought another one for $5 million. Allison is clearly scared for her life and is trying to secure herself as much as possible. Now, it's important to keep in mind that all these are just speculations, but people have been doing a lot of digging, and it won't be long before we know what exactly happened to Twitch and if Ellen was actually involved. As usual, people had their thoughts, like this person who said, "No one will ever convince me that his death wasn't shady. I think he found out something, and he or his family was being threatened, and he figured they'd be safer without him here. It's sad the wrong ones in Hollyhell are dying." Another person said, "A week before Stephen died, he and his wife celebrated their wedding anniversary. 2 days before he died, he released a video of himself and his wife dancing, and then went to a random hotel and committed suicide." Come on, doesn't this seem suspicious to any of you reading this? Twitch was his murder was made to look like a suicide. But now I want to know your thoughts. Do you really think Ellen had something to do with the death? And what else do you think Allison is going to be revealing about Ellen in the coming days? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.